want to do a video on something when I was a child. I was living in Arlington, California. I went to Shamawa Junior High School, and Trudy was my first girlfriend. Oh, platinum blonde, cute, cute, cute. Oh my God. We used to get on the phone all the time and talk about running away, jumping on a freight train. We didn't know where we were going. We had no money. We had no food, but we were going to jump on a freight train and escape life and be together in 6th and 7th grade. Well, at that time of my life, we had neighbor kids. I was one of the neighbor children. We had a Darlene. I remember Darlene. We were young. She was a girl, but she never wore a shirt. I didn't think anything of it in those days. These days they go, oh my God, no shirt. Well, anyway. I built a clubhouse. In those days, Disney had a Mickey Mouse Club, and clubhouses were very popular. Treehouse. I built a treehouse in one place. I built a clubhouse. And when you're a child, a club, I guess you have membership. There's certain people that are in the club, certain people that are not in the club. You have friends, you have non-friends. And I don't know. I guess I have to say I was somewhat the leader of the pack, if you know what I mean. So I would have certain people come over to the clubhouse, and we would, I don't even remember what we did in the clubhouse. We would just talk and be members of the clubhouse. Well, we had a kid in the neighborhood, Ricky Sleem. That was his name, Ricky Sleem. And Ricky was our age. But Ricky wasn't cool. The rest of us, we thought we were cool. And Ricky was an only child. And these days, I think we would say that he was a special ed. In those days, we didn't even have those ideas or terms. We used to be eating at our table on dinner, and Ricky used to come down to our house outside, and he would put his nose on our kitchen window while we were eating and watch us eat. And my dad would go out and throw rocks at him, hit him with sticks, get the hell off our property. Ricky, you're being weird again, get the hell out of here. Well, that's my example of how to treat Ricky, my dad. So we decided one day that we were all going to get together as a clubhouse membership, and we were going to go on a little hike. And we went over to a place where there was a bunch of trees and there was some ground, and we decided to dig a tunnel. I don't know, there's maybe 5, 7 of us. And Ricky begged, and I thought, well, let Ricky come, I don't know, help us dig. Well, we were on this adventure, 7 of us walking in the pre-jungle. It was Michigan. No, let's see, Arlington, California. It was in California. Anyway, there were a bunch of bushes and a bunch of tree leaves and branches and whatever, and I kind of had a machete, and I was cutting. I was the leader of the pack. I was cutting a path for us to walk into the forest. And I'm so embarrassed. I hope I'm not an ass anymore, but I could be. So anyway, Ricky was part of that group. I began to think, well, why am I doing all the work here? I'm cutting all these branches. I'm getting, the path cut. I'll promote Ricky. Ricky, come up here. I'm giving you the machete. You're in charge now. You cut a path and we're all going to walk behind you. Okay. And, he was desperate for attention. He was desperate for friendship. He was a desperate little human being. Well, we didn't go too much further. Ricky used the machete and hit a hornet's nest. Now, I don't know if you know anything about hornet's nests, but they don't like to be hit with machetes, if you know what I mean. Well, we took off like a bat out of hell and left Ricky with the hornets and the hornet's nest. Well, he escaped from that. A couple of hours we were there, and we decided to build a cave now. He'd already been stung by the hornets, but he was desperate. He would do anything for attention, and I was the leader. I promoted him. I took advantage of him, but I promoted him. So we built this cave, and we dug a trench in the ground, and then we put branches and bushes over the top of the trench, and then dirt on top of that. So we had a tunnel. Hey, I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed of my childhood. Well, I was the leader, and I said to myself, gee, that tunnel is about 4 feet in, and there's only one exit out. If anything goes wrong with the ceiling, I want to be close to the out door opening. Like, Rick, new promotion. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel like King David in putting Uriah at the front of the battle lines for Bathsheba. So he said, yes, what do you want me to do? I said, well, I want you to go in and I want you to investigate and make sure that the cave is safe. You're the engineer. You're in charge. Oh, okay. He goes into the cave. And the rest of us started to pile in behind him. And of course, I was the last one to go in because I was going to be the first one out. I ain't stupid. Well, poor Rick was at the beginning of the cave. He was jammed in with 5 or 6 other kids pushing in on it. Well, he evidently was claustrophobic, which I didn't know. And frankly, in those days, I didn't care. Hopefully that changed. So he panicked. And he jumped up. And his head went through the branches, through the bushes, and through the dirt. So outside, it was terrain with a head coming out of the ground. I saw that and I thought, well, shit. He's not very good with hornet's nest. He's not a very good engineer. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to want to go to jail. I'm abusing this child. So I left like an asshole. And how Rick got home, I don't know. So he would continue to come down, look in our window, because we had no family, no friends, no brothers and sisters. Well, his parents tried to help him integrate into the neighborhood. They bought him an above-ground pool. And it was only, it wasn't 4 feet, it was about 3 feet high. And it was fairly big. You get 5, 6 kids in it. Well, we went to Rick's house, and we filled his pool up, and we all got in the water, and then being the leader of the pack, I thought, well, why don't we all just spin around and around and around and get that water to go round and round like a toilet flushing. I thought that would be fun. I thought that would be a good idea. Be careful now. When bipolar people get ideas, hold on to your wallet, fasten your seatbelt. So all the other kids, yeah, David knows. Ah, shit, he knows fun shit. Let's go round and round and round. So we did. Well, I didn't know anything about centrifugal force in those days. It was a brand new pool. And Rick was having us, the neighborhood kids, over to kind of have friends and to enjoy. Well, my idea turned out to be a shit pile. The centrifugal force spun hard enough that the sides of the pool collapsed. I don't know how many gallons. I don't know if it was in the hundreds or thousands, but the pool collapsed. All the water came out. All of us kids got scared because we knew we ruined his new pool. And we hit the fucking road. We went home and go, God, poor Rick. We left him in the forest with his head standing out of the tunnel. He hit the bee's nest. We ran away, and he was stung by the bees. Now we've been to his home, and we ruined his pool. And so, life was not good for Rick. Well, years went by. And I happened to run into an old friend of the neighborhood back then. We were laughing, talking about the clubhouse, Darlene with no shirt on, wishing her boobs would grow before she learned to put her shirt on. Boy things. So I said, oh, hey, by the way, whatever happened to old Ricky Swing? How did he turn out? What was his life? My friend went very quiet. And I waited. I can feel that weight right now in my chest. I said, oh, didn't you hear? Said, no, I didn't hear anything. My friend said, well, he committed suicide. See, I bear some responsibility for that death. I could have befriended him. I could have made him a pal. I could have defended him. I could have helped him, trained him, assimilated him into our group. I didn't. A leader has to take responsibility. Yeah, maybe the other kids could have been kinder, but I had the power. I was in charge. I didn't do the right thing. This special ed child killed himself. Probably because he didn't have any hope. Probably because he didn't have any friends. Probably because he wasn't popular. Basically, he was bullied, ignored. I tell you all the time, I'm 77 years old. I created part of that problem. I have to accept responsibility for my portion of what I did, what I didn't do, what I knew, what I didn't know. I wanted to be leader of the pack. I wanted to be in charge. I wanted Darlene with no shirt to admire me, worship me. I helped destroy an innocent human being. I have to live with that, and I have to die with that. I could take my last breath any moment on this video. Would I see him face to face? Would I have the opportunity to say, I'm so sorry that I made a mistake? I spent the rest of my life, Ricky, seeing I never did that again. I spent the rest of my life helping handicapped people. I spent the rest of my life with inclusion. I spent the rest of my life defending in court, school systems, every way that I could, defending people being bullied, people not having equal access, people that was just like you. And I helped destroy you. I tried my best, Ricky, since then, to build, to protect, to follow the principles of Christ, do unto others, the poor, the meek, the humble. I was only 12 years old. That's no excuse. That's no excuse. I didn't know what I was doing. No excuse. I tried to do better. I learned from that experience. I've had 14 children now. 7 of them are handicapped. They've been bullied. They've been kicked out. They've been discriminated against. Just like Ricky. But I changed. I changed. I don't let that happen anymore. Anybody in my orbit that is disabled, handicapped, old, infirm, no friends, no ability, no money, no housing, no medical, no dental, no transportation, no education. I spent the rest of my life, Ricky, trying to make up. Nothing can make up for what I did. I hope you forgive me. I hope that my life since then and through the rest of eternities, I learned. I'm sorry I learned at your expense. I'm sorry you never had a wife, you never had a family, children, a house, a car, education.